In our pursuit of knowledge, we often rely on technical language that can obscure meaning. This rhetoric is embedded in a structure that serves specific power dynamics and conveys an illusion of objectivity. At the outset, it's evident that technical rhetoric has permeated daily life, subtly shaping the way we perceive the world around us. For example, people speaking of taking hydrogen rather than speaking of drinking water. People speak of taking more protein and fat rather than eating eggs and meat. This phenomenon reflects a significant absence of experiential and traditional rhetoric, which has often been overshadowed by the prevailing language of the scientific community. Rather than fostering inclusivity, it's this specialized vernacular that creates a divide. It often alienates individuals from their real-life experiences and nuanced understanding. The language of the ruling scientific community imposes a rigid framework on how people comprehend their surroundings, effectively dictating narratives and interpretations. This approach can undermine personal experiences and diminish the value of individual perspectives, rendering them inadequate against the authoritative sound of scientific discourse. This technical language, while designed to convey precision, often acts as a barrier. It creates a perception that knowledge is a rigid reflection of an objective reality, a notion rooted in scientific realism. However, this concept is ultimately a form of pseudoscience, one that deceives the public into believing that the terminology used presents an ontological truth. Scientific realism promotes the idea that our scientific theories unveil a fixed reality, masking the underlying narratives that shape the so-called truth. The language employed builds a facade, suggesting that knowledge is definitive when in fact it is just a narrative shaped by those in power. Philosopher Thomas Kuhn challenges this status quo. In The Structure of Scientific Revolutions, he posits that scientific progress is not linear, but rather consists of paradigm shifts influenced by social and cultural contexts. Real scientific change often comes from questioning the established narratives, not accepting them as absolute truths. Similarly, Paul Feyerabend advocates for epistemological pluralism. He argues against rigid scientific methodologies, suggesting that the imposition of a singular scientific method can stifle innovation and limit our understanding of reality. According to Feyerabend, we must embrace a diverse set of approaches to truly explore the world. We need both religious rhetoric and scientific rhetoric. True science demands humility, an acknowledgement of our limitations and a willingness to learn from varied perspectives. When we embrace experiential rhetoric, we recognize the value of lived experiences in shaping knowledge. This down-to-earth approach allows us to connect deeper with the world around us. If we continue to uphold the myth of a singular ontological reality promoted by the pseudo-scientific realism, we risk perpetuating delusions that cloud our understanding. The rigid narratives of scientific realism can hinder progress and inhibit our ability to engage authentically with divergent knowledge systems. We must challenge the prevailing scientific narratives by fostering inclusivity in our discourse. By valuing experiential rhetoric and adopting a more humble approach to knowledge, we can dismantle the power structures that dictate our understanding, paving the way for a richer and more authentic exploration of reality that is a truer science.